Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tyler Hour. So I just finished catching up with Invincible Season 2, and it really is a breath of fresh air for the superhero genre. I mean, it's a great palate cleanser for the Marvels. Let me just say that. If you want good superhero content, then go to Amazon Prime because between The Boys and Invincible, Amazon is kicking the MCU's ass in terms of quality. It made me wonder why these shows are so much more interesting to watch than the garbage that Marvel is putting out these days, and I think I figured it out. Invincible and The Boys actually respect their audience, while the MCU treats its audience like children. Now I'm just going to give a spoiler warning here for Invincible Season 2 and the recent Gen V show, the Boys spinoff. If you haven't seen either of these yet, then I would say go watch those first before watching this video, unless you don't care about spoilers. By all means, in that case, keep watching. Now I know these Amazon shows are meant for adults, so obviously they're going to be more mature than Marvel. But I think it's still possible to tell stories like Invincible with a PG-13 rating. Sure, the hyperviolence definitely elevates the storytelling, but at its core, Invincible is about a young man coming to terms with who his father actually is and trying to make up for the wrongs that his father committed. And Invincible showcases that you can deal with this heavy subject matter while also being a fun superhero show. The Marvels had a plot that was so cliched with no nuance. I felt like I had seen it all before. Like, it was really nothing new. And it feels so disrespectful that they thought we would like this. Like, seriously? These Amazon superhero shows prove that there is no superhero fatigue. There's just bad writing fatigue. Loki was a nice change of pace for Marvel, and the last few episodes of Season 2 actually felt like they were treating the audience like adults. The writing was smart. Loki and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are proof that when the MCU decides to grow the fuck up, audiences will enjoy their work. I remember Guardians 3 was getting complaints from parents saying that it was too dark for their children, but they seem to forget that the movie is PG-13. It's not meant for toddlers. But that's what most of the recent MCU catalog has felt like. Like it's made for toddlers and simple-minded people to enjoy. Don't even get me started on She-Hulk with the Megan Thee Stallion episode. There is a reason why everyone hated that scene where She-Hulk is twerking with real-life celebrity Megan Thee Stallion, and it's because it's fucking dumb and out of place. I felt like I was watching one of those mid-2000s Burger King movie tie-in commercials where, like, the fucking Hulk bursts through the wall and sees Danny DeVito or some shit. Like, it did not feel like the MCU that we all know and love. I mean, just look at Iron Man and then look at this shit. Look how far we have fallen. Mostly everyone who was a fan of the MCU back in Phase 1 is upset now with how the franchise has turned out because the MCU refuses to grow up with its audience. In fact, it did the opposite. It regressed. I was 8 years old when I saw the first Iron Man in theaters, and I fucking loved it back then. And that movie is way more mature than most of the stuff Marvel is pumping out now. I don't even think 8-year-old me would like the Marvels as much as I liked Iron Man. The other way that the Amazon shows respect their audience is that they also respect their audience's time. So much happens within the first episode of Gen V. Now, I haven't finished Gen V yet. I'm still getting through it, but from what I've seen so far, I love it. But right in the first episode, we learn a lot about our main character, Marie. We see her backstory. We learn how she discovered her powers. And the whole show gets flipped on its head at the end of the episode when it kills off two characters that seemed like they were going to be important to the show. It's a great hook that makes you want to watch to see like why this happened, and it doesn't waste your time. If Gen V was a Disney Plus show, it would have taken 4 episodes for them to show us Marie's backstory. I'm just being reminded of how slow Secret Invasion was. It took a whole season for shit to happen in that show, and even then it was awful. Just awful. It was a total waste of time. It was so boring. By the end of episode 3 in Invincible Season 2, we have Omni-Man returning. The MCU would have stalled a moment like that till the second to last episode of the season. The whole idea of Omni-Man as a character is something that the MCU can't even fathom. The show is asking us to change our minds about a man who's killed countless innocent lives, and it's actually working, sort of. Like, for me personally, I freaking loved seeing Omni-Man return and seeing like how his perception has changed while he's lived on this alien planet with this new family. The current MCU would never even dream of having a character as complex as Omni-Man. It would be like as if they asked us to forgive Thanos for what he did in Infinity War. They would just never do something like that. And this is why people love watching Invincible and The Boys way more than they like watching Marvel shows. I will say, it looks like Marvel might be realizing what's making Amazon's superhero shows so popular. Because if you look at the trailer for Echo, then you'll see what appears to be a mature show that takes itself seriously. I love what I've seen from that show so far. It looks exactly like what I've been asking for from Marvel. A show that's not made for little kids. It gives me hope for the Daredevil show because I loved how mature the Netflix Daredevil show was. And the Hawkeye show had me worried with how they butchered Kingpin's character in that. But now this Echo trailer has me hopeful again for the Daredevil show. Because the version of Kingpin that they show in that trailer is more in line with the version of Kingpin in the Netflix Daredevil show. There's a reason why people love Daredevil and shit on the Disney Plus shows, because people like it when you respect their intelligence. We want stories with mature themes, and while it's nice to have a mature rating, you don't need one to do that, and Guardians 3 has shown us this. That movie had tons of mature themes. So let's hope that the MCU finally takes a page from Amazon's book and starts treating us with the respect that we all deserve. And yes, I know it's funny that I'm talking about Marvel while wearing a DC shirt. I wish I could make a DC video, but there's just not much to talk about in regards to DC right now. And let me put it on record right now, I have always been a DC over Marvel guy. I love DC. I think DC's way better than Marvel. It has way more potential. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what James Gunn has in store for the universe. Because I think he truly understands what superhero fans want to see. But that does it for this video. If you like what you've watched, then please subscribe and like the video. And tell me in the comments what you think the future of the MCU is going to be like. Do you think Echo is going to be a step in the right direction? Do you think it's going to suck? I'm curious to know your thoughts. That's all for me now. See you guys next time.